It is me you should be listening to, Luther. I'm the daddy here!
Ever since the Hargreeves siblings came onto the screen in the Umbrella Academy in February 2019, fans have gotten invested quickly and couldn't wait to see what's coming up next. The show is based on a comic book series of the same name and follows a group of adopted siblings who all happen to be superheroes. There is definitely a lot that's going on. It's mostly them trying to save the world and making things worse. In July 2020, the second season was released, and quickly fans were wondering whenever they would get to see a new season. So this is the Umbrella Academy Season 3 and everything you need to know. Warning, massive spoilers ahead. But before we get started, please remember to give this video a like if you enjoy it. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content just like this, and ding that notification bell so you never miss another thing. Has it been renewed yet? Yes, I'm happy to report that in November of 2020, Netflix had announced that the Umbrella Academy would be renewed for a third season, so we'll definitely be seeing all of the Hargreeves siblings once again. When will the third season be released? We're not entirely sure just when the season is going to be available, but the good news is that they have started with production already. The bad news is that even if they have started on it, it's going to take a long time to complete, and that is even if the global health situation doesn't throw us more curveballs. If productions end up closing down again at all, then the wait could become even longer. But as it stands, it's going to take them a long time to film this show anyway. It always did. But being that there is a ton of new extra precautions that have been put in place for filming of shows, it could make it where an extra couple of months could be tacked on to filming. For example, the schedule has had to be adapted a lot. Normally they would be shooting for long hours, but nowadays they've only got a limited time in which they are allowed to work. Some of the cast members have stated that it now takes about twice as long to get everything filmed as it did before the global health situation. So it sounds like the plan is for them to finish production around September. If they are able to finish in that time, then we might be able to see the show drop in the first half of 2022. But again, it is going to depend upon the situation and how quickly they can finish shooting all the scenes. When are we going to see a sneak peek? We have seen some photos from the set that some of the cast members posted on social media, but none of those really tell us all that much. It's still going to be a long time before we're going to be able to see an actual teaser trailer for season 3. Normally, Netflix only releases the trailer around a month before the show is released, but they might make an exception for the Umbrella Academy. It was such a popular show with such high ratings, but now they have a massive time gap between seasons, so they might just decide to release a bit of info sooner than later, just to make sure that the momentum of the show stays high, that is. I guess we can only hope. So, where did we leave off the show in the last season? After fighting to stop the end of the world for the entire first season, the siblings went back in time to the 60s, where they were once again fighting against the coming to the end of the world. They made it out alive, and Ben was once again able to save the day. Vanya was going to explode, and when Ben figured out how to communicate with her to calm her down and stop the destruction, in the end, they did manage to make it back to the year 2019 and made it home at last. The only problem was that it didn't seem to be their home anymore. It seems like they had come back to an alternate universe where Sir Reginald Hargreeves had adopted another set of kids. This new set has also been born on the 1st of October in 1989 in that one same strange event. So they all have superhero powers, and this set of children is called the Sparrow Academy. What part will the Sparrow Academy play? Honestly, we're not sure yet. They might become a sort of family, or they might completely stand against the Umbrella Academy. What we do know is that Ben is alive and well in this new timeline, but he is a completely different person than his siblings knew. He also doesn't seem to know any of them, so it's going to be interesting to see how he's still alive and how these changes affect everybody around him. What part will Sir Reginald play in the season? In their reality, Sir Reginald has died. It was his funeral that brought all the siblings home and back together, but now in this new reality, he is at home and seems to be just as mean as ever before. Very quickly, he ends up telling the Umbrella Academy that his house was not their home. It seems like after he met the adult versions of his children in the 60s, they ended up deciding to adopt other kids instead of the ones that he did. All except for Ben. That decision remained the same. So we might be able to get to see the chance how the original 7 interact with the adoptive father. We've only seen them interact with him as a younger man, so not really the father they know and have a lot of issues with. Will we finally find out why all these kids were born in the first place? To remind everybody, these kids came from a pretty strange event. On the 1st of October 1989, a bunch of women went into labor, and they all gave birth at exactly 12 o'clock p.m. Now, 43 women giving birth at the exact same time might be a little strange, but another strange and out-of-the-world factor was that none of these women knew that they were pregnant. None None of them even showed any signs of being pregnant until they went into labor and gave birth. But the thing is, we don't know why this happened, so will we ever get those answers? We don't know yet. The comic books have explained what really happened only recently, and this show does not follow the order that the comic books do. So it's very possible that season 3 will be the season that we'll finally be able to find out where and how that these 43 children came to be. Will we see more of the powers that these children have? It has been very heavily implied by now that these kids all have different types of powers and abilities. The new set of adopted children also have special abilities. Hargreeves wanted those kids for a reason. So besides the kids that he ended up adopting, there's a bunch of more children out there with special abilities. So it will be cool to get to know all of these heroes or villains that could still be out there. Will we finally find out why Ben died in the first place? Pretty much since we've known him, Ben has been dead. He is alive in the new timeline, but now he's somebody that is completely different. So the question remains, how Ben has died in the first place and how his death affected his siblings. Neither the comics nor the show has addressed this massive mystery, and fans want to know. There have been some suggestions which he might have committed suicide because of the terrible parenting that they all got from their adoptive father. And even if that is what had happened, it might have a big impact on this new timeline and the fact that he doesn't seem to remember what happened or his original siblings at all. So what could happen if he is reminded about his former life? Will we ever get to see him return to normal? Who will the villain in this season be? Again, we know so little about this season, and yet there are so many possibilities of who the big villains will be. There's still loads of possibilities from the comic books that would fit into this timeline and work as being the bad guy. Chances are that somebody will be threatening to destroy the world completely, and the Umbrella Academy will have to step in. We don't really know anything about the people in this timeline, so it is even possible that somebody who was good could have turned out to be evil here. It could be Reginald that's trying to destroy them all, or it could be the Sparrow Academy that could all turn out to be bad. That might actually be a pretty cool idea, and it could be fun to see how they go up against each other. Depending on the powers that they all have, they could be pretty evenly matched, and it could be a pretty cool battle to see. Or it could be that they're going to go up against a villain that's so powerful that they're going all to need to team up in order to be able to defeat them. Fighting against each other or even a new villain is definitely going to be fun to watch. Will we get to see a longer episode? Many of the cast and the writers have mentioned that they would love to have an episode that is as long as a feature film. They don't want it looking like any other superhero movie. They work hard at not being a stereotypical superhero show after all. But a really long episode could be cool. The seasons are pretty short, so a bit of extra time would be super welcoming to any of the fans. One thing's for sure though, it is going to be surprising. This is a show that ends up surprising each and every episode. Even for fans who have read the comic books, there's always some surprises around the corner. But it seems like this new season will end up taking it to a whole new level. It's going to be the biggest season yet. Ellen Page, who plays Vanya Hargreeves, has spoken out about the experience when reading the new scripts, and has indicated that it was going to be an incredible season. The Umbrella Academy has always kept us on our toes and glued to our screens. It is a super fun show, and we can't wait to see what season 3 has in store. Thanks for watching so much, guys, and if you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ding that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. Until next time, folks, we will see you later.